Hello, Leo. Thank you for joining me. My apologies for using this method instead of joining you face to face. I am still recovering. In the cards today, I have a Pisces and Aquarius energy. I feel an energy that says, there's still so much to do, accompanied by, time is running out. It feels as if an important appointment or date is coming. Help is required to get this thing up in the air, whatever it is that you're building or trying to finish. If you have been working on a project, you may be halted for a moment due to one obstruction after another being thrown in the way. For the depth of the hole that has been dug into an investment or time given, the person I can see who is concerned or worried comes a lovely, nurturing, and peaceful water sign. This water sign, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, enters to try and help turn the tide a little for you, Leo. This person wants health and life. There is a conversation about how tough a situation has been for you. There is a loving presence in which this person tries to either persuade you or encourage you to think about the price that has already been paid, given the time period spent. It seems as if she is saying, haven't you paid enough of a price over this? The Nine of Swords anchoring the reading shows that whoever has been in their head over how bad something has gotten has not only lost sleep, but has found themselves locked in a prison of their mind for choosing one thing over another. It was a catch-22, Leo. Either way, this person was going to lose something due to the circumstances that hit them. Maybe they lost both options. Unprepared for disaster, which you have no control over. People around this person tuck tail and run towards their own stability instead of coming to this person's aid. The people who are running back to their own turf only want to ensure their own stability, not the stability for the whole. These places hold old stability systems and keep them feeling secure in their own minds, thus leaving this one person alone. In fact, one particular person may have been the speaker that encouraged everyone else, when in doubt, return to the tried and true, the old system that has worked. This speaker set the faith that in returning, everything will operate correctly again. Unfortunately, catch-all rules of life like this don't necessarily work for everyone, especially when life is ever-changing. Some people do not thrive under rules like this, and for good reasons. Each situation is different, but we are better together than apart, and this old system relies on individuals, not groups coming together. There are two places in the spread that speak of the number 11. In numerology, the number 11 is required when our life experiences become intense. Usually, these life experiences have great loss attached to it. The experience can include betrayal or despair that kind of grounds a person down into nothing. I won't go into all the different ways this can portray itself. Just know that an 11 life path number or a qualifying number 11 experience is going to include a harsh reality. In the spread in front of me, it would sound like this. The person who is having the loss, and maybe these are two different people, I don't know, but the first set of circumstances includes the pinnacles. All earth materials are included here, Leo, from dirt to buildings to inventory to time. Also, add in the body, a job or business, furniture, clothing, food, or savings, making it clear a desperate situation is at hand. Maybe this is someone's stomach, and someone is getting weaker by the day. Maybe this is an overdue loan or credit card. Who knows? You will know your life best. My point is, with the pinnacle suit requiring a number 11 relief, it must be pretty bad. The next suit is the wand suit. This has to do with action, or the ability to take action. Dominance can rule this realm. When there are too many activities and not enough hands, we get the proverbial timeline holding pressure down on how quickly something can be done. More hands means less work, but what happens when one man is digging the hole and 9 more men are all standing around and watching instead of pitching in? Ability can be taken in other ways, Leo. If someone's vehicle is down, the ability to gain employment is severely undercut. If tasks left undone for a long time build up, trying to play catch up can be impossible without help. And if no one shows up to the table to accept responsibility or to lend a hand in repairing a love situation, no love or forgiveness will ever get applied. This is why the number 11 is so important. And it's curious because most of the number 11 path people I've ever met can be some of the hardest people to come across. Learning that in seriously declining or strongly overwhelming circumstances, what is needed is not more of the whip, but gentle kindness, love, charity, forgiveness, and faith. The 11 number is to represent building the bridge between the physical and spiritual natures, bringing aid in one form or another to make the connection more bearable. It doesn't necessarily remove the obstacle. It makes it easier to make sense of, especially if someone can feel the warmth of worthiness. Long ago, I took a year of child and adolescent psychology, and I learned something very important about the first year in the development of an infant. The material covered described how that human's level of trust was built in that first year, when all of your ability to communicate is not given a language, like English or even the control of your body language. All this little creature has is its lungs to cry. One modality, that's it. And from this one modality, if the parent cannot respond quickly to the cry, the infant begins to develop a distrust. This distrust is not from other people per se. The trust has to do with the self. You see, in the moment of hunger, without a quick response, the infant develops a self-distrust that says, I am not worthy to be fed. In a moment of the discomfort of a dirty diaper, the self-distrust says, I am not worthy to be clean, warm and dry. In a moment of feeling afraid, the self-distrust says, I am not worthy to be protected. Moving forward into adulthood, the person then draws to them the very people and situations who will create the life scenarios that trigger that pain over and over again. Without help and guidance, especially from a formal professional who knows how to guide you through to health and healing, if not give you instructions for guiding yourself, the walk back to self-trust is almost impossible. That's my opinion, at least. So, the Master 11 number is there. Having lived so many lifetimes of heartache, pain, loss, and fear, the Master 11 person is handed those situations to navigate, not for themselves, but for those people around them. Stubbornness has not gotten good results thus far. Oh, wow. Taking another strong look, there are 3 9s in the spread as well. That's absolutely a more character-driven challenge than any other kind. In the tarot, when the minor arcana are at odds with one another, and I see the severe imbalance of energies, it can explain how long a situation was left dormant or how bad things have gotten. The challenge of getting everyone on the right page of concern for the situation has been the main question for the group who likes to disperse and run away. It's as if a decision cannot be made until everyone cares to the same degree. So there's been a lot of chatting and talking about why things are right this way and why they are not right that way. As the situation is getting worse and worse, deeper and deeper into lack and deprivation, no one is looking to the person inside of their own camp who is the one in need, the person inside of their own walls. In walks the King of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the Emperor, who are ready to get to work and begin building in a way they have done before. This person has a lot of experience behind their belt with the 9 of Wands. They have people ready to get to work. They have the supplies, they have the motivation and the vision, but when they show up to get to work, what they find is a hot, hot mess. The Emperor is wearing a crest, the sign of his house, and he brings with him a 2 of Cups person, which represents his achievements at building diplomacy behind the scenes and coming to an agreement with someone, quite possibly outside of the original group. This Emperor would love nothing more than to get started. But first they have to do an inventory of all things that are available, pros, cons, debts, etc. And in that report, it shows that something is missing.